Hello viewers, welcome to the Editorial Analysis by Drishti IAS. In this section, we regularly take editorials from various newspapers and news portals for a better understanding of various issues happening in India and around the globe. Dear viewers, in this section, we first try to link the editorial with our UPSC syllabus. Then we go analytical in order to understand some key points and at last some important concepts. Dear viewers, we truly hope that you like this initiative taken by Drishti IAS and your feedbacks are important for us. So kindly feel free to give your important feedbacks in the comment section. So without any further delay, let's commence our sessions.
Dear viewer, this video is available in Hindi as well. If you wish to watch it, please visit our Hindi YouTube channel, Drishti IAS. For your convenience, the link for this video in Hindi has been provided in the description below.
Today's editorial is taken from the Economic Times published on 9th of February 2021. The title of today's editorial is Take Nature for Granted at Your Own Peril. If we try to link today's editorial with our UPSC syllabus, we can link it with GS Paper 3, which has sections that include environment, biodiversity and ecology. Some key points from today's editorial. The scientists are investigating the cause of the flash floods near Chamoli in Uttarakhand on Sunday that have killed 25 people and left nearly 200 missing. Now viewers, we all know that on Sunday, natural disaster took place in the Chamoli region of Uttarakhand, where we saw flash flood and it actually killed 25 people and left almost 200 people missing. Now, if we speak what exactly a flash flood is, so you can call a flash flood is caused as a sudden flood, typically due to very intense rain. Now, what is clear is that steady warming of the planet has played a role. Rising temperature have led to the retreat of glaciers and formation of proglacial lakes, bodies of water from the ice that has melted, hemmed in by boulder and sediments, which when breached can result in flash flood like one we saw in Uttarakhand. Now viewers, one thing is very clear, that is the impact of the global warming. It can be said that global warming definitely is playing, or you can say has started playing its role. The issues that we are referring here have in some way or the other connection with all the issues, all the calamities that are taking place. Now this rise in temperature have actually led to the retreating of the glaciers. And when those glaciers are being retreated, we are seeing that the situation is leading to the formation of the proglacial lakes. Now, what exactly a proglacial lake is? Now, in reference to geology, a proglacial lake is a lake which is formed either by the damming action of a moraine during the retreat of a melting glacier, a glacial ice dam, or by meltwater trapped against an ice sheet due to depression of the crust around the ice. Now, if we speak with reference to how exactly the proglacial lakes are formed, so the formation of proglacial lakes in mountainous regions, specifically those in contact with the ice margin, is one of the consequences of glacier recession, or we can also call it as glacial retreat. As a glacial margin retreats, meltwater is impounded in the topographic low between the ice front and the abandoned moraine ridges. That actually leads to the formation of the proglacial lakes. Now, these proglacial lakes, when they are being deposited with a tremendous amount of water, suddenly, due to some action, they can actually cause the flash floods like we saw in the case of Uttarakhand. Now, if we speak with reference to the present scenario, the flash flood is a reminder that the world in which India seeks rapid growth is constrained by climate change. Now, every time when we speak about environment and development, this question often comes before us. The question is which or who to choose, whether we should follow the path of development or we should take care of our environment. And that exactly is the same situation with our country as well. But we don't have to forget that if we are going for rapid growth, then that particular rapid growth is constrained by the factor of climate change. Climate change is a reality. Climate change is something which cannot be ignored. The direct linkage between the flash floods and construction of ongoing power or road projects is being touted, but remains to be established, though decades of activity has contributed to destabilizing the fragile Himalayan ecosystem. Now, many people are saying that why exactly these flash floods happen? Because of the construction of various power projects, various road projects that are being undertaken by the government in the Himalayan region. But however, one thing that should not be forgotten is that it's not just the instance of 2, 3 or 5 years. It has been a very long practice from past 50, 60 years. With the anthropogenic activities, the developmental practices, the developmental activities have actually caused, or you can say have actually destabilized the already fragile Himalayan ecosystem. See, the idea many people are proposing, leave the mountains alone. Now, if we follow that idea that leave the mountains alone, then what about the people who are living in those regions? Don't those people have the right to get access to power, to access to pure water, access to roads, access to hospital care? In 21st century, we cannot expect that one person has to travel miles and miles in order to reach to a hospital. And that too when the path is so difficult, that too in the Himalayan terrain. Now, development at times becomes very important, but how exactly that development is to be taken, is to be done, that is the most important question which we have to ask. One approach that is quite important is that we all have to agree to the idea of sustainable development. Now, when we speak about sustainable development, it would help in more better, more logical, more tension-free ideas that will cause or that will help to bring the Himalayan ecosystem at its level where the impact of the anthropogenic activities is not doing any harm. Given the country's population density and density of human habitats, developmental deficits, and the need to grow the economy to improve the living standard of all its people, India needs to adopt an approach to development that puts an economic value on nature. It is high time that we have to value both nature as well as development. Then, if I'm using the term sustainable development, so something that has been done by Niti Aayog is with reference to sustainable development in the Indian Himalayan region. The Indian Himalayan region is characterized by diverse demographic, economic, environmental, social and political systems. In 2017, 5 working groups they were constituted by Niti Aayog, along with lead institutions as convener of the groups for sustainable development in mountains of Indian Himalayan region, to prepare a report each on various thematic areas. The various thematic areas or the working groups were: number 1, inventory and revival of springs in Himalayas for water security. The first one was with reference to the water security. The second one was the sustainable tourism in the Himalayan region with reference to tourism. The third one was shifting cultivation towards transformational approach. The fourth one was strengthening skill and entrepreneurship landscape in Himalayas. And the fifth one was data or information for informed decision making. Now, these were some of the ideas with reference to sustainable development. These working groups had their meeting from 3rd of July 2017 till 10th of August 2018. On 23rd August 2018, the working group reports a summary report on sustainable development in the mountain of Indian Himalayan region. It was released by Dr. Rajiv Kumar, Vice Chairman, Dr. V.K. Saraswat, Member, and Shri Amitabh Kant, CEO of Niti Aayog. There has been a constitution of Himalayan State Regional Council for Sustainable Development in Indian Himalayan region. Now, we at the government level are taking many initiatives, and we are also realizing the importance of nature, the importance of Himalayas here. The way ahead, this would mean treating nature as an asset, much like produced capital such as road, port, and other infrastructure that is a party of the country's wealth. See, it is important that we have to take care of the nature. We have to treat nature as an asset, like we care for other, just such as roads, ports, airports, other infrastructure, which are actually being treated as a part of the country's wealth. Destruction of nature would in this light be treated as the loss of wealth. If we are destroying our nature, then we have to understand that we are actually destroying our own wealth. Considering ways to minimize the loss of an asset would be part of mainstream planning process. Now, among all the planning that is being done by the government has to be very careful, government has to be very concerned that nature, which is an asset, its loss should be a loss to the economy. It should be a general loss to the people of this country. India must grow its economy, but its growth start must put sustainability, resource efficiency, and reduce waste at its core. Like I said before, India absolutely has to develop. India has to grow its economy, but that growth should be sustainable. The resources which are available, we have to make sure that the resources are used efficiently, and there is very less, or you can say absolutely zero scope of waste. This is essential, and not just because potential investors from across the world have environmental, social, and governance concerns on their mind. See, when we speak about our nature, when we speak about our environment, it is very essential for us to maintain that environment, to conserve that environment, not only for the sake of the potential investors who have their prerogatives or their concerns with reference to environment and social and governance concerns, but also for our generations to come. Because this is the only thing that we can give our future generations. A clear environment, a clean, a green environment is the best thing that can be given. All the fruits, all the resources of the environment are meant for everyone. An inefficient use of all these resources, a wasteful use of all these resources will create not problems just for us, but for the entire humanity. So it is to be noted that we have to be very careful. Even the corporates today, the money makers today, they have their concerns. You must have heard of the term CSR, the corporate social responsibility. Now, what exactly they are doing in it? When we speak about the CSR, they are referring to various ideas, whether it is in reference to the environment or in reference to the social causes. So whatever we have to do, we have to do it for the entire nation, not just to only attract the foreign investors. Now viewers, this was with today's editorial analysis. A question that can be framed with reference to today's analysis is: discuss the impact of global warming on the Himalayan ecology. So viewers, I hope you liked today's editorial analysis. Thank you very much.